You think you've seen it all. You think you know the game. You think because you watched the news, because you read the papers, because you scrolled through your little phone screens that you understand the magnitude of what just went down. Hoo-ah! You don't know nothing. We are talking about an earthquake here. We are talking about the ground opening up and swallowing the whole political establishment whole. Jack Smith, this guy, this silent operator, he walks into the room. He doesn't say a word. He just drops the file on the table. Wham! And the sound of that file hitting the wood is louder than a cannon shot. It reverberates. It shakes the walls. And the GOP, these guys in their fancy suits with their little flag pins, they are stunned. They are paralyzed. They are looking at each other like, what do we do now? Where do we go? The script is gone.
They are wandering in the desert without a map, because Jack Smith just changed the geography of the entire world with these new details. Welcome back to Alpacino Reports. I am your host, Al Pacino. Now, listen to me, and listen close, because I'm only going to say this once. You see that button down there? That little red button that says subscribe? You gotta hit that button. You gotta smash it. You gotta be part of this family. We are building an army of truth here. We are going into the trenches together. So don't sit there on your hands. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. Hit the button. Join the team. Because where we're going, we need everybody. We need soldiers. We need witnesses. Hoo-ah!
Okay, let's get into the soup. Let's get into the thick of it. Jack Smith. You look at this guy. You look at his eyes. He's got those eyes, you know, like a shark, like a machine. He doesn't blink. He doesn't smile. He just moves forward, relentless, inexorable. It's like a force of nature. And for months, for years, people have been saying, oh, it's a witch hunt. Oh, it's political. Oh, they got nothing. And the GOP, they were riding high on that. They were comfortable. They were sipping their martinis in the cloakroom, laughing, thinking they had the winning hand. They thought they could bluff their way through history. But you can't bluff a guy like Smith. You can't bluff the facts when they are stacked up like bricks in a wall that you are about to run into at 100 miles an hour. And that's what happened. The new filing. The new details. It's not just crumbs, folks. It's the whole bakery. We are talking about specifics that paint a picture so clear, so vivid, it's like you're watching a movie in 4K resolution. They release the timeline. They release the conversations. They release the intent. And that's the key word right there, intent. Mens rea, the guilty mind. In the law, that's everything. It's the difference between an accident and a murder. It's the difference between a mistake and a crime. And what Smith laid out, what he put on the public record, it shows a level of calculation, a level of planning that has the Republican leadership absolutely gasping for air. They are stunned because they didn't think he had it. They thought the well was dry. They thought the executive privilege, the delays, the judges, the whole circus would keep the truth hidden. But the truth is like water. It finds a crack. It seeps through. It gets in the basement. And now the basement is flooded. You got senators walking around the Capitol today. I see them. I see the look in their eyes. It's fear. Pure, unadulterated fear. Because they know. They know that this isn't just about Trump anymore. It's about them. It's about who stood by him. It's about who enabled him. It's about who knew what and when they knew it. When the ship goes down, everybody gets wet. And this ship is taking on water fast. Let's talk about the specifics of what was dropped. We aren't just talking about boxes in a bathroom anymore. That was the appetizer. This is the main course. We are talking about direct orders. We are talking about knowledge of the law and a deliberate choice to break it. Smith has witnesses. He has people from the inside, the inner circle, the guys who were in the room where it happened, and they are singing. They are singing like canaries. Why? Because when the heat gets turned up, loyalty melts. That's the way of the world. That's the street. You think these guys are going to go to jail for somebody else? For a guy who would throw them under the bus for a Diet Coke? No! They flipped, and the details they gave up are devastating. We are hearing about specific meetings where the obstruction was planned. Not accidental. Planned. Move this here. Hide that there. Tell the lawyer this. Don't tell the lawyer that. It is a conspiracy of silence that is finally being broken. And the GOP is stunned because they bought the ticket. They bought the ticket to the show, and now they realize they are in a horror movie. They can't walk it back. How do you walk back, I didn't know, when the emails say you did? How do you walk back, it's a hoax, when the audio tape plays your own voice? You can't. You are trapped. You are cornered. And a cornered animal is dangerous.
But a cornered politician is pathetic. They are scrambling. They are looking for the exits. But the doors are locked. Jack Smith locked the doors.
And you gotta appreciate the timing, the theatricality of it. Boom. Right when they thought they had the momentum. Right when they were talking about polls. Right when they were talking about the economy. Smith drops the hammer. It changes the conversation. It sucks the oxygen out of the room. Donald Trump, he's a master of the media, right? He knows how to control the narrative. He's been doing it for 50 years. He plays the press like a fiddle. But this is legal. This isn't a tweet. This isn't a rally speech. This is a court filing. It has weight. It has gravity. You can't nickname your way out of a RICO charge. You can't insult the prosecutor into submission. The law doesn't care about your feelings. The law doesn't care about your crowd size. The law is a cold, hard machine, and once it starts grinding, it grinds everything to dust. And Trump knows it. You can see it on his face. The bluster is there, sure. The anger is there. But underneath, the eyes?
The eyes don't lie. He's scared. He's looking at the abyss. And the GOP sees that fear. They smell it. And it terrifies them. Because if the king falls, what happens to the court? What happens to the jesters? What happens to the knights? They all fall down. Let's go deeper. Let's go back to the history. Think about Nixon. Watergate. The tapes. What brought Nixon down? It wasn't the break-in. It was the cover-up. It's always the cover-up. It's the lie. It's the hubris. The idea that I am the state. I am the law. No, in America, no man is above the law. That's the whole point. That's why we fought the revolution. That's why we have the Constitution. And what Jack Smith is doing, he is vindicating the Constitution. He is dusting it off. He is saying, this still matters. These words on this old paper, they still mean something. And the GOP, for years, they claim to be the party of the Constitution. They claim to be the strict constructionists, the originalists. Well, here is the original meaning, right in your face. Article 2 does not make you a king, and now they have to choose. That's the tragedy of it. That's the Shakespearean drama. They have to choose between their leader and their law, between their power and their principles. And they are stunned because they realize they sold their principles a long time ago, and now the bill is due. The devil is at the door, and he wants his payment. And the details about the classified documents, the nuclear secrets, the war plans. Hoo-ah! Are you kidding me? This isn't a love letter from Kim Jong-un. This is the safety of the Republic. This is the lives of our soldiers. And the cavalier attitude, the recklessness. Oh, I can show you this. Look at this. It's secret. But look. It's mind-boggling. It's like giving a loaded gun to a baby, and the GOP knows national security. That used to be their bread and butter, defense, strength. How do you defend this? How do you go on TV and say, yeah, it's cool that he had the invasion plans for Iran in a cardboard box next to the toilet? You can't. You sound like a lunatic. So they are stunned into silence. They are stunned into stammering. You watch them on the Sunday shows. They twist, they turn, they jump through hoops. It's acrobatic, but it's sad. It's a sad display of men and women who have lost their spine. Jack Smith just held up a mirror. He held up a mirror to the party and said, look at yourselves. Look at what you're defending. And they don't like what they see. They see the rot. They see the compromise. They see the end of the road. Now, let's talk about the conspiracy. Not the crazy stuff on the internet. The real conspiracy. The conspiracy to defraud the United States. That's one of the charges. Think about those words. Defraud the United States. That means you cheated the people. You cheated the voters. You tried to steal the soul of the country, and the new details Smith dropped, they show the mechanics of the theft, the fake electors, the pressure on the vice president, the pressure on the state officials. Find me the votes. It wasn't just talk. It was an operation. It was a heist, a political heist, and they almost pulled it off. That's the scary part. That's what keeps me up at night. We were this close. Inches. A game of inches. If one person had caved, if Pence had gotten in that car, if the judges had blinked, it would be over. We wouldn't be sitting here talking about a republic. We'd be talking about an empire. And Jack Smith is laying it all out. He is connecting the dots. He is showing that it wasn't chaotic. It was organized. It was top down. And the GOP is stunned because they were part of it. Maybe not all of them, but enough of them. They were in the meetings. They were on the texts. And now Smith has the receipts. He has the phone logs. He has the notes. You know, people take notes. Lawyers take notes. They write it down to protect themselves. And those notes are now the noose. The reaction from the Trump camp, typical. Deranged Jack Smith, thug, radical left. It's the same old song. But the tune is getting flat. The audience is getting bored. And the volume is getting turned down. Because you can yell at the rain, but you're still going to get wet. You can yell at the prosecutor, but the indictment still stands. And this new filing, it creates a box. A legal box. Trump has to respond. He can't just tweet. He has to file a motion. He has to make a legal argument. And what is his argument? I can do whatever I want. That's it. That's the defense. Total immunity. I am the president, therefore I am immune. It's Nixonian. When the president does it, that means it is not illegal. And the courts aren't buying it. The Supreme Court? We'll see. But even they have to look at this evidence and say, whoa, this is too much. This is too far. Because if they say a president can do this, then Biden can do it. Then the next guy can do it. Then you don't have a country anymore. You have a jungle. And the GOP knows this. They know that if they establish this precedent, it will come back to bite them. But they are trapped in the cult of personality. They can't break free. They are stunned because they are shackled to a sinking ship and they threw away the key. What about the jury? You gotta think about the jury. 12 people. Regular people from D.C. or Florida. They are going to sit there. They are going to listen to this. They aren't going to listen to the pundits. They are going to look at the documents. They are going to hear the witnesses. And Smith, he's a prosecutor. He knows how to talk to a jury. He knows how to simplify. Here is the law. Here is what he did. Guilty. It's not rocket science. It's basic. And the GOP is terrified of that visual. The former president of the United States. A convicted felon. Can you imagine? Can you wrap your head around that? It's never happened. We are in uncharted waters. We are off the map. Here be dragons. And we are sailing right into the dragon's mouth. And the GOP is just standing on the deck, frozen, watching the fire come closer. And let's not forget the money. It's always about the money. The donors, the big money guys, the ones who write the checks. They are looking at these details too. They are reading the filings, and they are business people. They don't like risk. They like stability. They like certainty. And Donald Trump is the definition of instability. He is chaos incarnate. And this evidence, it makes him a bad investment, a toxic asset. You gonna give $100 million to a guy who might be in jail next year? I don't think so. So the money starts to dry up. Or it moves. It moves to the Senate. It moves to the House. But it moves away from the top of the ticket. And that is the death knell. That is the bell tolling. When the money leaves, the power leaves. And the GOP leadership, they feel that shift. They feel the ground shaking under their feet. And they are stunned because they didn't think it would happen this fast. They thought they had more time. But time waits for no man.
Look at the specific revelation about the redacted document, the one Smith mentioned in footnote 43. Did you see that? It's buried in there. But it's a bombshell. It implies communication with a foreign entity regarding the election systems. I mean, come on. We are talking about sovereignty here. If that turns out to be what we think it is, forget about obstruction. We are talking about something much darker, something much more serious. And the silence from the GOP on that specific point is deafening. They don't want to touch it. It's radioactive. They are hoping it goes away. But Jack Smith isn't going away. He's like a pit bull with a bone. He's locked on. He's shaking it. And he's not going to let go until the truth falls out.
The implications for the election? Hoo-ah! It turns the whole board upside down. How do you campaign when you are in court every day? How do you debate when you are under a gag order? How do you ask for votes when the prosecutor is reading your diary to the world? It's a spectacle. It's a tragedy. It's a comedy. It's all of it wrapped into one. And the American people are watching. They are exhausted. They are tired of the drama, but they are watching, and this evidence, these details, they cut through the noise. They show a pattern of disrespect. Disrespect for the office, disrespect for the people, disrespect for the sacrifice of the men and women who died for that flag. That's what gets me. That's what makes my blood boil. You take the secrets, the things people died to protect, and you treat them like baseball cards? You show them off to impress a writer? It's disgusting. It's vulgar. And deep down, even the staunchest Republican, in the quiet of the night, when they are alone with their thoughts, they know it's wrong. They know it's indefensible. And that cognitive dissonance, that conflict in their soul, that is what has them stunned. They are fighting a war against their own conscience, and they are losing. Jack Smith represents something the GOP forgot about. Consequences. For a long time, there were no consequences. You could break the norms, shatter the traditions, and nothing happened. You got more famous. You got more powerful. But the law is the ultimate consequence. It is the final check, and now the bill has arrived. The waiter is at the table, and the check is massive, and the GOP is looking at their empty pockets, realizing they can't pay it. They morally bankrupt themselves for a decade, and now they have no capital left. They spent it all defending the indefensible, and now, when the undeniable truth comes out, they have nothing left to say. They are empty suits, hollow men, stuffed with straw, leaning together, headpiece filled with straw. Alas!
And I gotta tell you, the pacing of this script, this real-life movie we are living in, the suspense is killing me. Every day, a new drip, a new leak, a new filing. It's torture, but it's necessary torture. We have to go through this. We have to purge the poison. You can't heal the wound if you leave the bullet inside. You gotta dig it out. And Jack Smith is the surgeon. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be messy. There's gonna be blood on the floor, but you gotta get the bullet out. The GOP wants to put a Band-Aid on it. They want to pretend it's a scratch. But it's gangrene. It's rotting the limb. And Smith is saying, no, we are operating. Now. Today. Scalpel. And the patient is screaming. The family is screaming. But the doctor is working. Because the doctor knows that if he stops, the patient dies. The patient is America. We are the patient. And we are on the table.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of a play I did back in the 70s. A story about a king who lost his mind. He thought the stars revolved around him. He thought he could command the tides. And in the end, he was just a man. A naked, shivering man in the storm. That's Trump. The trappings of power are stripping away. The helicopters, the salutes, the immunity. It's all peeling off like old paint. And underneath, just a man. A flawed, scared man who broke the law. And the GOP is realizing that they worshipped a man, not a principle. And that is a hard realization. That is a soul-crushing realization. To look in the mirror and say, I gave everything for this lies, for this vanity. It's pathetic. It's tragic. But it's real. And let's talk about the details regarding the pressure campaign. The phone calls, the meetings in the Oval Office, the yelling, the screaming. We are hearing about a White House that was unhinged, off the rails, people crying in the hallways, resignation letters drafted and torn up. It was a madhouse, and the GOP acted like it was normal governance. Oh, just the president blowing off steam. No, it was a coup in slow motion. It was an attempt to dismantle the democracy from the inside out. And Jack Smith has the testimony. He has the people who were in the room saying, yes, he said that. Yes, he ordered that. You can't spin that. You can't Fox News your way out of sworn testimony from your own chief of staff, from your own lawyers. These are Republicans testifying against Republicans. It's a civil war of truth. So what happens next? The GOP is stunned now, but shock wears off, and then comes the anger. Then comes the desperation. Watch for it. Watch for the attacks on the judges. Watch for the attacks on Smith's family. Watch for the calls to defund the DOJ. They will try to burn down the courthouse to save the defendant. That is the next move. Scorched earth. If they can't win the game, they will flip the board, and that is dangerous. That is where we have to be vigilant. That is where we, the people, have to stand up and say, no, you don't get to burn it down. This is our house. This is our country. You work for us. We have to be the firewall. Because the politicians, they are compromised, they are weak, they are scared. We have to be the strong ones. We have to be the ones with the courage. Jack Smith isn't the savior. He's just a prosecutor. He's just a guy doing a job. But by doing his job, by doing it without fear or favor, he is reminding us of what America is supposed to be. A place where facts matter. A place where the law rules. A place where no one is a king. And that reminder, that is what has the GOP stunned. Because they forgot. They truly forgot. They got lost in the power. They got lost in the sauce. And now, the hangover is here. And it is a brutal hangover. I want you to think about the future. 10 years from now. 50 years from now. History books will be written about this moment. About this filing. About Jack Smith. And they will ask, what did the GOP do when the truth came out? Did they stand up? Did they do the right thing? Or did they cower? Did they hide? Did they double down on the lie? Right now it looks like they are cowering. It looks like they are stunned into submission. But history is watching. The pen is moving across the page. And you can't erase ink with silence. You can't erase the truth with a shrug. The record is forever. And the record will show that when the evidence was laid bare, when the crimes were exposed, one party stood for the rule of law, and the other party stood for a man who would burn it all down to save himself.
So, in conclusion... Wait, there is no conclusion. This is just the beginning. This is the opening act. The curtain just went up. Jack Smith just walked onto the stage, and we are all in the front row. So keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. Don't let them gaslight you. Don't let them tell you the sky is green. The sky is blue. The law is the law. And justice is coming. It's coming like a freight train. And you're either on the train or you're on the tracks. Get ready, folks, because you ain't seen nothing yet. The stunned silence of the GOP, that's just the calm before the storm. And the storm is going to be biblical. Hooah! Subscribe, like, share, tell your friends. The truth is here, and it's wearing a dark suit and staring right through you. Jack Smith. Remember the name. I'm out. But I'm never really out. I'm always watching. Always.